Hello everybody, it's Michael here from Michael's Card Art once again, and this week I've got a little trifold, or I don't know what you'd call it. Well, I don't know what sort of a fold to call it, so I've called it a landscape entrance or an exhibition entrance. Now the reason for that is because when it folds up, you can imagine walking into a landscape or a building with lots of things to look at on the various pillars and poles. That's how mine's working. And this is taken from the Flight and Airy DSP from Stampin' Up. It's fantastic paper, I have to say. Get your hands on it. I said this last week. Get your hands on a roll of this and you will be wanting more of it, I promise you. Anyway, so that's the fold here. There's another example of this exhibition landscape or exhibition entrance fold. This is what I did with various numbers of flowers that I've cut out from various bits of Stampin' Up! DSP and Stamps and Dies. I love this design. I think it's really, really super special in a sense that you can add a lot of information to it. I did a third one, and what I had on that one was a whole heap of models, if you like, and their dresses were dripping with gold and sequins and the various bits of glamorous DSP that Stampin' Up! Bring out all the time. And that looked fantastic. And you can see that if you want to on my YouTube site. No, it's not. It'll be on my Instagram site. You'll see the bifold with the models, and I called it the cocktail party or something like that. But there it is. So tonight what we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to give it a bit of a masculine bent to it. And instead of birds and flowers, we're going to go with, I think this is what we're going to go with. I have another option as well. These are older stamp sets from Stampin' Up! One is Guy Greetings, and I thought these characters might look good placed at random on the pillars of the entrance, or Campology, and I could certainly use this whole scene or all of these stamps certainly in a card like that. So I'm still to decide on what that is, but let me show you the take a screenshot of that if you can see that comfortably. What you need to be aware of in this is sometimes it's difficult working in inches as it is working in centimeters. Now this card, and please forgive me, uses a combination of inches and centimeters, and I'll explain that to you in more detail. But what we want is the base card. What I'm saying is the base card is 11.5 inches by 5.5 inches. Okay, and it's going to be scored at 1, 2, and 3, and 4 from each end. So we score it at 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and here it is here. So that's it, 11.5 by 5.5, scored at the various places along the way. Then what you need to do, and I haven't put this down on the instructions, but you need to measure down 2.5 centimeters from the second score, that's the 3-inch mark on both sides, measure down 2.5 centimeters. And what you're going to do is you're going to draw from that score fold there at number 4, at inch number 4, and you're going to, on a diagonal, you're going to measure down to there, 2.5 centimeters. Then you will draw across here and to 2.5 centimeters at fold number 4 inch, 3 inch, 2 inch. You're then going to go down 5 centimeters on score this last score line, and you're going to create that sort of a diagonal. So it's 2.5, go across to 2.5, down another 2.5 or 5, and then go across. And you do that on both sides. Now, the reason I say sometimes it's easier to work in both inches and centimeters is this is exactly the case. Right, then what we do, I'll just remove that for you now. Then what we do is we cut out the profile. So you saw how we were at this is score line number 4 coming into the center. So at that point we measure down 2.5 centimeters on both sides. We cut across to 2.5, then we go down another 2.5 and then across. Okay, and that's what you should end up with. Okay, now what I'm going to do with this particular card is I'm going to have an insert for the card center, an insert plate, and this will just give it strength so that you can stand it up and do a few more things with it. I'm going to use this DSP. Now, source, unknown. That's all I can say on that. But let me tell you, it's a very, very, very good quality one, given its texture and thickness. Then what you need is, so this is the 3.5 by 3.5 inches by 5.5 inches. You need one of those to go in the center there. You've then got its insert to sit on top of that. All right. And I always cut these inserts that little bit shorter. If that was in, yes, that little bit shorter than the actual plate. Now, you've got 1 3/4 of an inch by 3.5 inches. We need 2 of those. Okay? And what they will do with their inserts of paper, they will then go into, and they will be glued. Let me just get this right for you. Okay, that will be glued there. And then you need another one, which is 1 3/4 by 3.5 inches, and you need 2 of those. Oh, sorry, I just did that one. Oh, sorry. This is what you need for additional card pieces, and I'm trying to do too much at once here. Okay. You need 2 of these, which are 1 3/4 by 4.5 inches. They will go, I'll just fold this in. They will go there. Yes. And then you need 2, which are 1 3/4 by 3.5. And they're inserts, and they will go, they will be glued on here as such. Okay. And so you get that effect. Those are the inserts that have been attached. So they look like that. Now, as I'm doing all of that talking, I'm realizing that you guys like to operate with Valley and Mountain, which I think is excellent. And when I get myself organized, I'll do that. Okay. Okay, so you've got the basic layout of how it all sits together, and we'll work through that. I've also got, because what I'm going to do with this one, those objects or those, the pictures, whether they're from that one or this one, I'm going to have those stamped. I'll do a fussy cut on them, and then I'll adhere them to these. So then what will happen here is that will sit here like so. Now this is just, there's so many ways you can decorate this card, but this is my option at the moment. Now this, you may or may not see, is close to vanilla, but it may just need a little bit of crumb cake or something, just the finest coat, to bring it back into line with that. But at the moment I'm thinking it's the same color. So you've got 4 pillars. I've got 4 things that will sit on top. But you know how my mind works. There will be things that I will change throughout the course of it. Okay, let's get started. Okay, inserts over here. What I'd like to do first is I'll start off by adhering the various pieces onto this. Okay. Just get, there we go. It's, once you know the measurements and the cutting pattern, This is a very, very easy card to make, and truly, I think very effective. Well, I've enjoyed making it. Right. Okay, and we're just going to put this on here. Oops. Okay. I was just having a look to see whether I had turned the video camera on. You'd be surprised how many times I've been sitting here rattling on about stuff that I thought was totally important, and no one was ever going to see it because it never made light of day. Okay, now we're going to go in and put the taller pieces. Now I've already committed one sin there. Should I fate this? I'm going to attempt fate. I never glue an insert. I always glue the pieces when they're away from the card, because, and see what I've done there. Okay, never do that. I'm telling you, it is not worth the drama and the tears. See what I've done? I've glued that onto the card base, when what I should have done was this. I should have glued the paper onto that and then glued it onto that, because if I had have made a mistake there, I could theoretically lose the whole card, and there would have been a small tantrum. No, it wouldn't. It would have been a little minor. Okay, so we can hide that. We'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, so that's sitting on there. Let's get this glued onto there. We're getting down on the glue. Okay. If you are using directional paper or paper that runs in a direction, make sure you keep that direction running. I'm just going to put a piece of card under there so it doesn't attach itself. Keep the running as it is here in the one direction. Okay, let's glue this onto here. What I'm going to do, that's the reverse side, but you know, there's a little bit of colour there that I might be missing out on, that I should possibly take advantage of. Let's see, what does this one look like? I'm going to use both sides. I like the bit of tonal difference. Okay, so let's get this on here. Okay. And the reason I thought of, or why I'm a little bit with the images I'm going to use, is because this DSP has binoculars, has game fishing, has wildlife, and so it sort of fits nicely in that realm as well. Okay, let's just get rid of that. We've got that, we've got that. Okay, let's move this one to here. Now remember, we only need to use half glue, half, so I'll attach the glue to that there. That can go over there. Here we go. Okay, now these last two panels, let's get those on. Okay, and there we go. Yeah, see that little splash of red there is quite good, I think, in the overall scheme of things. Yes. And this one, yeah, I like the greenish grey. Okay. That goes there. I'll just show you something too while I've got that. I just saw it. And here, so you might be able to see the right side and the downside of this. You'll see how it might see just a bit of a ridge. It's where the cutting blade actually, where I cut it on that side, and it's pushed the cardboard down. And then I've come over here and I've cut on that side. Yeah, don't ask why, because I don't really have an answer. But what I do is I just take the boning folder and flatten that out, so you can't now tell so easily which side. I'll put the glue on. Okay. Hard day at the office. I look after old people in their homes, just as a casual career transition after I retired. And I'm just going to say it's probably the most rewarding thing that I have ever done. And I used to fly around the world on a plane, teaching people how to be better bankers, how to be better at selling things and all of that. And here I am back home in Australia when I couldn't get out of the country during COVID because of our incredibly severe lockdowns. And I saw an ad for a company to help or to assist people with their own old age living requirements in their own home. Now, see what I've done? I've just paused because I nearly did it again. I nearly put too much glue there. Now, sorry, I was waffling and I should have told you how I'm gluing this. So with the smaller ones, we're gluing only half this panel there, like so. Yeah, oops, there we go. So that you get this effect. So it's like that. And this one, remember, it goes on the, which side does it go on? You're going to think I'm stupid. Look what I've done. Oh, look what I've done. Look what I've done. Okay, all is not lost. I'm going to glue that down there and I'll make a new one for here. So, let me see. So you can see we need to glue them so that it's like that. Not like what I did over there. It needs to be on this side. So let's get this back on the thing. Here we go. Okay, so it sits like that. So it all should come into that nice, neat vein there. Excellent. Okay, that one there will go here. As you can see there. Oh, there is a God and she is smiling on us. Thank you. Okay. There we go. Voila. Okay, we're well on the way, and this hasn't taken us very long at all. And I really do like that DSP. I'll come back to you in a moment. I just need to get a couple of other supplies.